Many Texans are still out of work.
The Texas Workforce Commission has seen a drastic increase in unemployment claims.
You can tell how much we're hurting economically by the number of families lining up for food.
The coronavirus crisis has a way of making our biggest problems even worse, like hunger. With 33 million people newly unemployed, community food programs are getting slammed. Hunger and food insecurity have become one of the most pressing issues of the pandemic. And I want to know, are we meeting that need? Are we getting people the food that they need? New national research shows about 1 in 5 young children are not getting enough to eat during the pandemic. And that brings me to May Elementary School. It's one of 47 sites where the Dallas School District is preparing bags with 15 free meals inside that families come pick up once a week. And I'm talking to Michael Rosenberger. He runs the food and nutrition program for the district.
Those areas that were already challenged are among the hardest hit. And so if the need was here before the outbreak, it's gone up to here now.
You're filling this hole that already existed, but now the hole is bigger for a lot of these families?
When we began this COVID-19 emergency meals program, we were only serving the first several days 20,000 children. And now we average over 40,000 children every single week.
Hola, good morning. Why?
The fact that they're delivering, I think, 650,000 meals in a day is incredible. Preparing food this way is more expensive. Food costs are up 15%, labor is up 25%. It also means cutting through red tape. Michael is telling me that the federal government had to waive several regulations on school lunch. One that said a child can only be served one meal at a time, and another that all meals have to be eaten at school. So these bags required government intervention, basically?
Yes. I've never seen a stronger, better, more coordinated effort to meet the food needs of food insecure families in Dallas.
30% of the kids in the district are getting this emergency food, but it's estimated that 90% of them are eligible. What's likely getting in the way are language barriers, lack of transportation, or just that working parents are not available to come pick up the food. During this pandemic, the restaurant and hospitality business have been especially hard hit. The Texas Restaurant Association says 688,000 restaurant employees have been laid off or furloughed. The air elbow. To help feed them, enter Furlough Kitchen in Dallas. It's a catering company that shifted to feeding unemployed restaurant and service workers.
What we tried to do with Furlough Kitchen is really about the hot meal. It's about that one hot meal a day.
An analysis by the Federal Reserve Board found the largest job losses by far during the pandemic are in leisure and hospitality, where employment is down 31%. At Furlough Kitchen, I met Daniel, who worked at a restaurant that's now been closed for weeks.
How many times have you been here to the Furlough Kitchen?
This is probably like my 5th or 6th, 7th time.
How important is this food to you?
Oh, it's very important. It's very helpful. It's just amazing at what we see that we are capable of doing as a people.
Research from the James Beard Foundation found 4 out of 5 independent restaurant owners are uncertain their businesses can survive. And Jordan's telling me food and hospitality is a part of the economy where the workforce is already living close to the edge.
So many of our employees are hourly employees that are relying on that week's cash to survive. And so it was the perfect storm for those employees.
They're going to get a 25-pound box of dry product and then about a 15 to 17-pound box of produce, and that should help to supplement their food for about 30 meals.
The North Texas Food Bank is distributing boxes full of food. The line to pick them up is out of the parking lot and down the street. This is a massive operation. This is the kind of thing that you see after a town is hit by a hurricane. As compared to before the crisis, they are now handing out 75% more food by weight. Tricia Cunningham is the executive director. What's your reaction to a line like this?
When I pulled up this morning, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional here, but when I pulled up this morning, It broke my heart to see all these cars that were lined up to get a $20 box of food.
Food banks are facing their most trying times ever. The demand for food by newly unemployed people is unprecedented. At the same time, the largest source of food donations, unused product from supermarkets and retailers, it's dried up as consumers clear the shelves. To help, Congress has approved $850 million for COVID-19 relief food programs, and there are emergency FEMA funds as well. But those programs have not kicked in yet, so food banks are somewhat on their own. Today, Tricia realized 3,000 boxes of food would not be enough, so she immediately called the food bank to send 3,000 more.
It doesn't seem possible that everyone's going to get food today.
Well, and it's very possible that even with this double amount that we brought out, that we may still have to turn people away. You know, my hope is that we can try to feed as many people that are hungry that we possibly can.
And they did turn people away. Across Texas, at events like these, food banks now say they are running out of supplies 30% of the time.
You know, I'm looking over your shoulder and I still see all the cars that are lined up here. We don't know how long those lines are going to be there. We don't know whether it's 2 months, 6 months, or 2 years.
So schools are scrambling to get kids food, but we know that some kids are still going hungry. And charities and food banks have totally stepped up, but it's clear that they are struggling to meet demand. So when it comes to hunger and food insecurity, are we meeting the need? The answer is no.
So what can we do about it? Well, if you can afford to donate, take a picture of this QR code with your phone. It'll take you to an Amazon wish list for the North Texas Food Bank, and you can buy them the food they say they need, and shipping is free. If you need help, these two websites for the North Texas Food Bank and the Tarrant Area Food Bank have lots of information about where you can get food. But if you're going to get in a long line of cars, make sure you get there early. That's all for Verify. See you next time.